Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very pleased that you are all here in this room representing different sectors, and this is exactly the aim of this project. So I really welcome you to this conference on the Tree Water Project, and I'm glad to see so many of you, and especially pleased to welcome the representative of the European Commission, Vesna, representing a member of the cabinet of Commissioner Potocnik, and a member from the administrations, and also from the Flemish region. So the aim of our conference is to highlight the importance of involving private landowners in the effort to establish and maintain the Natura 2000 network. As you know, it was not that evident a few years ago, and I will be a bit provocative saying that it was not evident at all for the one who know the area 10 years ago. So this is, in my eyes, quite an improvement. We are especially considering the added value those landowners and land managers can bring to nature conservation projects involving sustainable land use and land management. These and other aspects will be presented to you today, and I hope they will spark an interesting discussion. Before I move on, allow me to give you my views on the Natura 2000 network, its scope, and how the ELO can contribute towards its future development. Regarding the scope, Natura 2000 is not simply about nature protection, in the sense of creating fenced natural reserves. On the contrary, we do believe that it envisages an active role played by humans who contribute to improving biodiversity by responsible coexistence within the same environment. It is a public-private partnership. It is due to the commitment, the involvement of all the actors. They all have a place and a role to play in it. You know, we are at the time of a financial crisis. It is the efforts of the private public who will generate the funding and the commitment of each actor, of everybody in the countryside. Therefore, the objective is clearly not to eliminate existing or potential socio-economic activities, but to combine biodiversity with the socio-economic aspect, to combine it in order to get the best. The sustainability, which means that it has not to be at the detriment of biodiversity. It's a matter of balance. We need to improve biodiversity because it is the aim of the project of Natura 2000, but we need to do it on a reasonable way, gaining allies with us. Although we recognize it is a huge challenge to find a compromise between many, often contradictory aspects. It is the only possible way to ensure a truly sustainable approach, which should include not only the environmental aspect, but the economic and social one, this fair balance. Having said this, it is clear that the objective and scope of Natura 2000 are completely in line with what the ELO stands for, and therefore with the interest of landowners. However, for various reasons, including the top-down approach used in the designation process, there is still a strong degree of misinformation and resistance to the implementation of Natura 2000 within the various member states. Landowners feel excluded from the process. Their opinion and experience were not taken into account during the designation process, and they fear what the future will bring. If we look at Belgium not too long ago, there was a lot of negative perception among stakeholders about the network. I'm happy to see that today the situation is strongly improving, also thanks to the joint efforts of ELO, Limburgs Landschap, the Ontwikkelinggebied Midden-Limburg, de Agentschap voor Natuur en Bos, de Regionaal Landschap Lage Kempen, the municipality of Asselt and the municipality of Zandhoven, and thanks to the LIFE and the European Commission. I believe this project has made it clear that the greatest opportunities for us is to improve the perception of nature conservation projects among landowners and other stakeholders. It's not only dedicated to the landowners, it's really dedicated to all the land managers, wherever they come from. So only by starting off a mutual respect, it will be possible to build cooperation. While it is unfortunately true that there are examples of clearly unsustainable and unenvironmental practices carried out by some landowners and managers, it is foolish and narrow-minded to consider that the entire category is following the same practices. Sure, they must make sure that their land provides them with an adequate living, but they possess a quality which is unique to other categories, the emotional attachment to the land, which is the fruit of their deep connection and understanding of nature, particularly in their area. It is precisely those qualities, practical sense, and emotional attachment which can provide the best added value to nature conservation projects in the context of the LIFE project and Natura 2000. The solutions are there, but first, landowners need to be recognized as providers of solutions and not as simple executors of measures imposed upon them in the name of the greater picture. This brings me to why partnership is so important. It ensures that common goals and objectives are shaped amongst the actors involved in the implementation of a project. Furthermore, experience shows that projects which create solid partnership among stakeholders have a higher rate of success because of an increased legitimacy and diversified funding opportunities. And I think this is really crucial. Today, I'm happy to present you the results of the LIFE 3 water project in Middle Limburg, the results obtained by our analysis on stakeholders' perception and its network, and the preliminary results of the best practice review on participation of private landowners in nature conservation projects. Without further delay, I leave the floor to Vesna Valland, member of the Cabinet of Commissioner Potocnik, and in doing so, I ask you to keep in mind the overall message which is at the very core of this conference. Landowners and land managers are solution providers for the sustainable management of Natura 2000 areas and therefore have a role to play in shaping nature conservation measures. And this has to happen in perfect cooperation with all the actors, from the landowners to the green NGOs. We are there to build bridges and to work all together. Thank you for your attention. The floor is yours.